Okay, let's get into it. Let's go. Let's keep pushing. In this video, I want to talk about, what do I want to talk about? Medical tourism, which is an interesting niche that I think you guys should consider and partner up, pair it up with your activities of daily living for your home care business. Like I said in my last video, I will not be editing my videos too much anymore because I have too much to say. There's too much going on in the economy. I mean, there's just too much. It's hard to even keep up with it. Very, very difficult to keep up. But instead of me just editing videos, that's going to take too much time. I'm just going to put out as much content as I can. It's going to feel like a live, but it's not a live. Okay? And I want to do this for the rest of the year because too much going on. All right, let's jump into the topic real quick, shall we? Medical tourism is something that is going to have to be considered by a lot of you guys when you're thinking about niching down. A couple of years ago, when a lot of young men were escaping the United States, a lot of people were laughing online. They were saying, "Oh, look at these guys. They're running away from they're running away from America because they can't get girls, can't get women." Remember they used to laugh? Well, winter is here. Things are falling apart. Government shutdowns. It's chaos. It's going to be chaos in the streets. How you know it's going to be chaos in the streets is that when drug dealers are struggling, then you know the game has already changed. Drug dealers usually are the first to make this money because everybody's got money. They need a little something. They need a little vice to escape. So those drug dealers are gonna always have some money. But the fact that they're struggling right now, that's a bad sign. Even the gentlemen's clubs in Atlanta have been struggling for months now. For months. And Houston, for months. Nobody goes out anymore trying to blow money, extra money, because people don't have extra money. They don't. But they have no choice but to deal with their health conditions. And it's unfortunate that the big corporations know this and they are gouging the system and taking advantage of people. We already knew, a lot of these greedy corporations were taking advantage of people anyway. We knew this for many, many years. But it wasn't that bad. It wasn't so bad. But now it's just like next level bad. I've been watching videos about people canceling their health insurance because it's just gone up. Sometimes by 20%, 25%, and they just can't pay it. It's crazy. Even like the new big beautiful bill, I think they canceled insurance for they changed some laws. Let's put it that way. They changed some laws that people are now starting to lose their health insurance, or health insurance premiums are just getting out of control. This means that health insurance is probably going to be reserved to those people that are at the top 10%, the top 5%. Kind of like what it is here in Africa anyway. This is why I say the United States is now a third world economy with a Gucci belt. I didn't make this saying up. I heard it somewhere. I forgot who mentioned it, but I heard it here on YouTube that the United States is now a third world economy with a Gucci belt. No difference. Most people here, I'll say 90% of people here, do not have health insurance. They don't. They just can't afford it. But they still get sick. It's not to say they don't get sick. They do. But there are solutions in the marketplace right now to solve for those problems. For example, the clinics and hospitals here are quite affordable. Yes, the service is not all perfect, but it works. It works, and people can afford it. But then in the US, every time I'm there, I'm just like, please, I pray to God. God, please make sure I'm in good health the entire time that I'm here. Please, and then I focus on eating right. I stay away from garbage food. I stay away from alcohol, just so I can make sure I'm tip top. My health-wise, I'm tip top. Because I don't want to get to the hospital in the US. I don't. Even if I can afford it, I don't want to do it. It's hell on earth over there. It's a trap. You don't know what kind of scam they're running for the day. You don't know. You show up over there at Grady Hospital, and then before you know it, you're coming out with like a $5,000 bill. You're like, what? Aspirin for $200 for an aspirin? Get out of here. What is this? Or apparently, the 150 of that 200 is an admin fee, and the other $50 is actually for somebody to go to the pharmacy and pick up that aspirin. But even then, the $50 for somebody to go to a pharmacy, which is downstairs in the hospital, the pharmacy that they own, to go get the aspirin up to you and hand it over to you. That's the other $40 of that 50 that's left. And the aspirin is actually $10. So how does my aspirin go from $10 all the way to $200? It's a scam. And everybody's on it. Everybody knows it's a scam. Everybody's on defense right now. There are people with medical bills, they know they'll never be able to pay it. It's impossible. It's impossible. So every dime that you get sued by these hospitals. They start taking that money out of your check because they're scammy slime balls. Everybody knows this, that this is happening. And people are fed up of it. People are fed up. Go look up people that are complaining about the healthcare system in the US and all this stuff. They're fed up. What I'm predicting is going to happen is that these healthcare facilities are going to be reserved for the ultra wealthy that can actually afford it. So they will never go out of business. Because there's always going to be some rich billionaire or millionaire out there that really doesn't mind, because to them, they just get richer and richer. They don't really mind paying $200 for that aspirin. Because to them, they probably make like $2,000 an hour. But $200 is nothing. But for the regular person, the working man, that's a lot of money, $200. That's a lot of money. The game has changed. I'm telling you right now, the game has completely changed. There are people in the United States right now, they don't feel the things that you're feeling and complaining about. All the things that cost of living that you're complaining about, they don't feel it. They got private jets now. They got friends with private jets. If they don't have a private jet, they got friends with private jets. Meanwhile, you're complaining about the airports. TSA is messed up. But these millionaires and billionaires, I was checking out like 50 Cent, because I follow 50 Cent on Instagram. And 50 did a clip today of airports, in chaos. And then the next clip was him walking on a runway to a private jet. I knew what he was doing. 50 Cent is a genius. He was advertising his private jet so he can get his millionaire friends to hit him up and say, hey, I got a problem. I can't get on first class, but I need to get where I'm getting to this money. How do I get on your private jet, 50? This is how they move at that level. So the problems that you're feeling, they don't feel it. If you got rich friends, there's certain things you're insulated from if you got rich friends. This is how the game goes. It's a very cold game. So I know the play they was playing. They were like, hey, check out this private jet that we're taking. Meanwhile, everybody else is struggling at the airport. He's at a private landing strip, private TSA, private, everything's private now. They'll pay for their own airport flight control, I think. Because Delta and all these airlines are canceling flights now. So only private jets are going to probably be moving. Because they can afford their own system, their own infrastructure thing, their own thing. Everybody else is struggling. When it comes to medical tourism, it's also going to happen at the elite level with the rich people. But also, there's a way you can bring this niche to the regular folk. Let me explain to you how. When people are fed up of a system that doesn't work for them, they're going to seek alternatives, even if it's abroad, even if it's going to Mexico across the border, even if it's flying all the way to Turkey, Turkey and the country. Because the medical system in Turkey is incredible. We have Turkish clinics here in Africa, where Turkish doctors, Turkish dentists, and they're all really good. Like next level, like world-class level. And these are some of the doctors and dentists that study in places like Harvard. Can you imagine? I can get access to a Harvard-trained doctor here in Africa that is Turkish. The game has changed. There's no difference. The same Harvard-trained doctor and dentist over there in Atlanta, it's the same level. And I'm getting it here for much cheaper, for a fraction of what you're paying over there in Atlanta. And if in Atlanta you're paying, let's say, $1,000 for one visit or whatever, plus medications and all this stuff, and consultations, whatever. I'm only paying $100. 1,000 versus 100. Just imagine. So just imagine that, huh? Isn't that incredible? And you don't think rich people know all this stuff? Of course they do. Of course they do. There's some rich people that don't mind spending their money in the US for their medical services and everything, but there's some that will literally fly out of the country, go to places like Turkey, go to South America, Brazil, and get whatever procedures that they need. It's been happening for years, but I think it's going to pick up exponentially. How you bring the same offer to the marketplace as a home care agency or home care business is offering it to your community, to people in your neighborhood, or people that you're currently dealing with as a package, as a tour package, as a medical tourism tour package. But it starts with you going out of your way and doing your own research. Maybe it might start with you checking out what's available online. With ChatGPT now, you can look up clinics that are in Mexico. Maybe even go down there yourself. Go visit them. See if they're really good. The hospital services, see if they're really good. Then you become a broker. You become the middleman between the people that need the services and the hospital that you've pretty much reviewed yourself. You are now the expert. You're the expert. You're the trained physician, trained doctor, trained nurse, whatever it is. So people are going to be trusting you that you've done your due diligence first. You've gone down there and you've identified what they offer. So let's say your niche is I don't know, maybe dementia and Alzheimer's, okay, let's say, or, okay, let's say your niche is cancer, I guess, cancer patients, something like that. Maybe what you could do, it's just an idea here. You could say, I want to look for all the top cancer hospitals in Mexico because it's really close. Or even in Turkey, if you want to go that far. And then you say, you want to tour all the top hospitals in those areas, like in Mexico and Turkey. But let's use Mexico as a simple example. You tour them, you do your own research, you figure out what do they offer for patients with cancer and all this stuff. Then you market that, you brand yourself as a medical tourism company that helps cancer patients get treatment in Mexico, and then you take care of them once they come back home and they're in recovery. That's where activities of daily living come in, and just servicing post-surgery or post-cancer treatment patients that have come back from abroad. And then you facilitate that whole system where once they get treated in Mexico, you get their vitals, you get their information, you even help them go all that way. Why not? Help them go all the way to Mexico. They might not speak the language, they might not speak, I was about to say Mexican. They might not speak Spanish, so help them out. Help them out as be their tour guide. And then what you'll realize is that a lot of people are very lonely out here. There were so many people that were leaving the United States, young men, like I said, that were leaving the United States for several reasons, because they were seeing things were collapsing. So a lot of these young men were being laughed at. But now, they're showcasing everything. They're showing you, how great the medical system is outside the US. Even me, I can't show people how great the system here is, because people are going to start hating on me. They'll be like, oh, now you think you're showing off. No, I'm not showing off. I'm just trying to teach you something. I'm trying to share some game. What I'm saying is, there are ways you can create that tour package. Escort those people to the hospital that you picked, because remember, you are the expert. So they're going to trust you, that you know the perfect cancer hospital that they should get treatment from. And after that, they come back home, because they still have homes in the US. Then you take care of them and offer them quality activities of daily living or your home care services. So you've completely added value to just basic ADL. That's how you level up in this game, because you're finding additional ways to earn. So remember, people are canceling their insurance. And when people cancel their insurance, they're going to try everything to find that money, the cash. So you're going to start to see, and we're already starting to see this, GoFundMe accounts for medical expenses. It's already happening. So you might want to consider also being able to manage these GoFundMe accounts for these people, because a lot of these people already have relatives, right? They have people that love them, maybe relatives that have left the country or that live in a different state. And if they hear that one of their relatives is in need of medical services, if they have the money, $5, $10, they're going to chip in. But they're not going to chip in and contribute to a medical bill that is inflated. If the medical bill is like 15,000 versus like 5,000 in Mexico, so 15,000 here in the United States, and then versus 5,000 in Mexico, they're more likely to donate to a GoFundMe account that is contributing to a medical bill in Mexico for much cheaper. Because people are logical. So that patient can't rely on insurance like that. People here in Africa, they pay out of pocket. Because insurance is reserved for the wealthy. So they pay out of pocket. And you're going to start to see the same thing. So I think this is a great niche. If you guys are ready to work with the best, this means that you're ready to start your home care business and you want to do this branding thing. You want to brand your home care business, then schedule time. I put a link in the description of this video. Let's talk about how to get you to the next level. You need to know exactly how to approach this niche, how to add value, how to brand yourself, and how to make sure that the people in your community know who you are and come to you. Because things are falling apart out here. It's third world conditions. And you got to operate as such. Schedule time. I'll put a link in the description of this video. Talk to you soon. Bless up.